Good old Partridge. I did very much enjoy watching Alan Partridge at the weekend.
Yeah, did you actually watch them? What did you make?
I went through all of them. Yeah.
Have you?
They put them up on Netflix. It must be for the film. But
the film, it looks really great, but it just has such a potential to disappoint me.
Look, the signs are good. All the reviews are good. Any of the bits I've seen of it have been funny. Like, I'm not as much of a Partridgeite or whatever you want to call it as everybody else. No, I don't dislike it, but I didn't really follow it as much as everybody else, and I get the gist of it.
Yeah,
and the weird thing is,
one joke.
In the series, he's going Wings, the band the Beatles could have been, or whatever. But Wings are kind of cool again. There's been a real Wings sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Renaissance or rediscovery.
Rediscovery of Wings, and people have kind of come around to the thinking that, alright, maybe Paul McCartney didn't just get shit once he left the Beatles, And there is a lot of that stuff. Okay, look, Paul McCartney was never going to be the deepest lyricist in the world.
Mulligan time.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Rowland.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Alright.
Or
that may be the case, Paul, but does it warrant a song about it?
License to Kill.
Or no, it wasn't License to Kill, it was Live and Let Die.
That's true, yes. I just know from the song. I hate those Bond films.
No, you don't.
The Roger Moore Bond films.
Oh, right, okay. But yeah, and it's weird seeing a few of the references that were given to this character because he's really naff. Like ABBA. ABBA aren't really naff anymore.
I've always liked ABBA.
I don't mind them, but like...
You're being torn, Daniel, I can see.
But the thing is, like, there's all the sort of aspects that was... These things that Alan Partridge likes that was given to him to make him seem naff aren't naff anymore. So actually now he's almost cool.
He'll never be cool.
I don't know. I think
it's his way of going about things. It's not just his personal tastes. It's his way of interacting with the world.
I guess. No, you're right. It's just that it's dated a little bit in that sense.
Well, no, look, it probably has.
Even James Bond. He was banging on about James Bond films in one of the episodes, and what's cooler than James Bond at the minute?
James Bond is a cunt. Here's my problem, right, with the whole James... we might have done this in one of the other episodes. I'll cut it out if we have. Bourne came out, right, and everybody decided, people love these Bourne films, we better do Bond like Bourne from now on. Now, I have a problem with that, because I quite like Brosnan's Bond. I think he made some good Bond films.
I haven't seen any of these things that you're talking about, though, so I'm probably not going to have much to say.
Bourne films?
No.
Oh, wow, I'm totally going to do that.
Not an action guy.
But the thing about it is... They have this idea, right, that Bourne is much grittier and grimier and sort of more realistic than Bond. And it is, when you consider Bond is going up against sort of supervillains and weirdos trying to take over the world and shit like that. But when they went to sort of Bourneify Bond and make Bond with Daniel Craig, make Bond into something more Bourne, something grittier, they made him like this sour prick, right? Which is very much like Bourne. Bourne doesn't joke. Bourne doesn't do any of that stuff Bond does. But Bourne is this guy who's racked, who just wants out of it, who doesn't want to work for the CIA anymore. He's tired of killing people, and he just feels like, no, I can't do this. I can't believe I've done the shit I've done, and I don't want to do it anymore. The whole climax of the second one, the Bourne Supremacy, is this incredible car chase through Moscow. Just they do really good. In fairness to the Bournes, they do the best car chases I've seen in a long time, like since the 70s. But
since Death Proof.
Fuck Death Proof. And it's all kind of because he has to go. This sounds kind of really lame and really weak, but if you watch the whole context of the film, it's to get to the daughter of a couple who he murdered when he was working, who he'd assassinated when he worked for the CIA, and made it look like a murder-suicide. To cover it up, to get to their daughter, who's now like 20-something, and say, look, it wasn't a murder-suicide, I killed them. And it's real. There's no reason for him to do it, to go to these extraordinary lengths and half kill himself and take on all these sort of CIA hitmen just to do this. But it's because he's this guy who's racked with guilt, who has nothing left in his life but guilt, and is trying to make amends for his whole life. And he's this really sort of sympathetic character who you really kind of like.
This is Bourne, though.
This is Bourne. And when they go to make Bond more like Bourne, they just take the most fucking skin-deep aesthetic shit. They basically said, well, let's make him stop him joking and shake the camera. That's basically what they did to make Bond like Bourne. There's no element of Craig's Bond.
But why if are Bourne not already doing quite a good job of making Bond more like Bourne?
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like why?
Yes. Why can't you just let Bond be Bond?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That's like saying,
let's make Pink Floyd, more like
the Kinks.
That would be a good idea, though.
Just listen to the Kinks and leave Pink Floyd for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah, and it's because I don't know. It's just like they've done. You mightn't like the Bournes, alright, because all that shaky camera and those big sort of explosive things they're very much Bond being Bourne. But it's just like at the heart of the Bournes there's this guy who you actually kind of feel sorry for, and you're thinking, well, okay, he's trying to do the right thing in extraordinarily difficult circumstances. Whereas Bond just goes where he's told and shoots who he's told.
Yeah.
Just like, if he's not witty, he's kind of a cunt.